Hello everyone, today we have a very interesting story about a lazy boy who was actually quite smart. By the end of this story, we'll learn how a lazy person can work harder and beat their laziness. But that's not all. While we listen to the story, we will also learn some new words and how to make sentences with them. This will help us practice English in a fun and easy way. So stay with us till the end. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by wide green fields and soft morning winds, lived a young boy named Evan. He was kind, cheerful, and full of imagination, but he had one big problem. Evan loved comfort more than effort. He avoided work whenever he could. Every day, Evan helped his father in the fields. His only job was to chase away the birds that came to eat the rice crops. Most people walked back and forth across the field, waving sticks to keep the birds away. But Evan didn't like walking under the hot sun, so he came up with a clever plan. He built wooden poles around the field and connected them with ropes. When he pulled just one rope, all the poles shook, scaring the birds away. This allowed Evan to lie comfortably under a tree, enjoying the breeze while still doing his task. His father often glanced at him and sighed quietly. "If I ever fall sick, how will Evan manage everything? He doesn't know real work," he thought. But since Evan's clever trick always worked, his father didn't say anything. Evan felt proud of himself. He thought he could handle anything with minimum effort. Then came a very harsh summer. The dry season arrived early. The sun burned hotter and the soil cracked from heat. At the worst possible time, Evan's father fell seriously ill. Suddenly, the entire responsibility of the field was on Evan's shoulders. For the first time in his life, Evan had to wake up at dawn, carry water, prepare the soil, and take care of the crops on his own. But the truth hit him fast. Evan wasn't used to hard work. His arms ached within minutes, his back hurt, the sun felt too strong. After a few days, he began slowing down. After a few weeks, the crops began to dry. The plants that once looked strong now looked weak and thirsty. The field slowly changed from green to brown. One night, Evan walked outside and sat under the stars. The village was silent, and a cool wind brushed against his face. He looked at the dark field and whispered, "Why didn't I ever take things seriously? Why did I always choose the easy path?" Now everything is slipping away. He felt a pain in his heart, a mix of guilt, fear, and regret. The next morning, the village was unusually loud. Evan followed the voices and found a soldier standing on a wooden platform. The soldier announced a grand competition at the king's palace. The winner would receive a chest full of gold, enough to save Evan's field, his family, and their future. Evan's heart jumped. This could change everything. "I have to try," he thought. People in the village laughed when he said he would join. Evan, the boy who avoids walking, how will he win? But Evan didn't care. For the first time in his life, he had a strong reason to act. He packed a small bag and started his journey to the palace. The road was long and dusty. Sometimes he felt tired, sometimes hungry, but he kept walking because his purpose was bigger than his comfort. On the third day, he finally reached the palace grounds where hundreds of strong competitors had gathered. The first challenge was at a large lake. The rules were simple: cross the lake, and the first 3 people to reach the other side would qualify. When the countdown began, 3, 2, 1, go! All the competitors jumped into the lake and started swimming with impressive strength. The water splashed everywhere. Evan stood still for a moment, thinking, "There's no way I can swim faster than these people." Then a spark lit in his mind. But this is not a swimming competition, it's a crossing competition. He ran into the forest, found broken branches, tied them together, and built a small raft. He pushed it into the lake and began paddling gently. Others who started strong quickly became tired. Evan, calm and clever, continued forward without losing energy. Slowly, he passed many swimmers. In the end, he reached the other side as the third finalist. People were shocked. How did he do that? The next day, the final challenge began. Every contestant received a huge wooden block. The goal was to push the block 1 kilometer to the finish line. They had several tools available: ropes, levers, wooden sticks, but they could choose only one. The strongest contestant grabbed a rope and started dragging his block with force. Another competitor used a lever to lift and move his block. Evan looked carefully at everything. He knew he couldn't win with muscle. "I have to win with my mind," he whispered. After a moment of thinking, Evan picked up a small knife. The crowd laughed loudly. What can he do with that? But Evan ignored them. Instead of pushing the block, he knelt beside it and started carving. Bit by bit, he shaped the heavy block into a round wooden ball. It took time, it took patience. His hands became sore. Sweat covered his forehead, but he kept going. When he was done, he placed his hands on the wooden ball and pushed it. It rolled smoothly, far easier than a block. While others struggled, Evan rolled his wooden ball forward, gaining speed and catching up. The crowd gasped as he overtook the strongest competitors and crossed the finish line first. The king stood up, impressed. This boy has shown intelligence, creativity, and determination. He did not rely on strength, he relied on wisdom. Evan, the boy once known for laziness, had become the champion. His journey proved that laziness isn't a permanent weakness. All it takes is a strong reason to rise, to fight, and to change. Stories like this remind us that even the smallest effort, when repeated daily, can transform an entire life. And sometimes, all we need is a single moment of realization to begin a completely new journey. Today, we also practiced English through this story. Remember, learning English becomes easier when you practice daily, even with simple stories. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to FableGlow, and share it with someone who needs inspiration today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.